everyone, hope you're doing great. I am Roger Singh Jolly and I am the founder and CEO of Project Future. Project Future is a company which has a goal of making the future accessible to everyone, in the simplest terms possible. So lately I've been working on Project Future as an idea, and while working on that idea, I realized that in order for Project Future to reach its goal, which is to make technology of the future accessible to everyone, what we need to do is that we need to bridge the digital divide as much as we possibly can. And to do that, what we'd be targeting is communities that don't necessarily have access to technology, by creating a curriculum that is accessible and also aids the curriculum that's already present in the current schooling system. Now, this sort of curriculum will aid the learners in a way that will allow them to sort of have a bridge over to the bleeding edge technology and the upcoming tech that they will hopefully use in the future. And essentially the goal of this is to make sure that the divide of those who have access to technology and those who don't have access to technology doesn't constantly get bigger and bigger, as those who have access to technology use it to aid their lives, become more efficient, and improve their workflows, while those who don't have access to technology like this will sort of obviously be under a severe disadvantage. So that's the goal of Project Future, and that's what we are trying to solve. So what we have right now is that we've been working on a curriculum plan that is currently in its second draft. And the goal of this curriculum plan is to sort of have an introduction into many smaller topics that sort of give the youth a rough idea into each of the topics that will play a crucial role in the future. So without further ado, we will be diving straight into it. And the goal of this video is to sort of give an update so that I can hold myself accountable, and so that I can continue to work on Project Future as an idea, so that we can strengthen the continent, so that we're ready for the fourth industrial revolution, which is already well on its way. So without further ado, let's go. So Project Future Curriculum Plan 23 version 2. So the core topics that we'll be covering will be as follows, and I'm just going to list the ideas, and then once we start diving in deeper, I will dive deep into them and also speak about which sort of rough ideas we'll be basing each of those curriculum topics into. So first one being introduction to computers and technology. So in the introduction of computers technology, we'll look at the history and evolution of computers technology, the different types of hardware and software used in computers and technology, and basic computer skills such as file management and internet navigation. Now, again, the goal isn't to try to replace the already existing school system, which already introduces people to the tech, right? The goal is not to replace that, but sort of adding a supplemental layer that bridges what is already being taught at schools to what will play a crucial role in the future in terms of technology. So obviously the introduction topic is sort of going to build on that, and obviously things are going to increase in difficulty as well. So basic computer skills, file navigation, and internet navigation. Right, so that's the first topic. Then we have digital literacy skills. Extremely important. So understanding and using social media and other platforms, internet safety and privacy considerations, and copyright and intellectual property laws. Now I know these topics sound insanely boring. I'm not oblivious to that. But what makes this sort of really special is the way we'll implement how these specific subtopics inside the topics will be taught. For example, internet and safety privacy considerations. Although these words sound extremely long, it's important that we dive deep into the impact of data, your digital footprint, and what the internet knows about you, what the internet doesn't know about you, and how that data can influence your purchasing habits, how your internet history is connected to your virtual assistant history, is connected to your Google search history, etc., etc. So we'll be diving deep into that, so learners understand that we live in a world where the internet knows almost everything about you. So how do you deal with knowing that is what the digital literacy skills topic will be diving deep into. Next, we have problem solving and critical thinking skills. So seeking and using resources to support problem solving and decision making, applying design thinking to problem solving and innovation, which actually connects to the curriculum that we've been learning at the African Leadership Academy, and evaluating the sustainability and long-term impacts of solutions. So how do you actually evaluate that whatever solutions you're trying to implement are going to be impactful and long-term? And I think this subtopic actually connects to the entrepreneurial leadership curriculum already available at the African Leadership Academy. And I hope that I can take inspiration from that and actually build upon this topic. Developing critical skills to analyze and evaluate information from various sources, including media and social media. So how do you look at information and objectively understand what is true, what isn't true, and how do you not just rely everything on one source? Again, sounds extremely boring, but we'll make sure that it's going to be fun when it's explained in depth. So now I think this is where we get to the interesting part of the Project Future curriculum. My favorite part, personally, because now that the basics are out the way, digital literacy, problem solving, introduction to computers, now we get to the fun part. And this is where entrepreneurship in the digital age comes in. So in terms of this topic, what we will be diving deep into is the basics of entrepreneurship and business concepts. We're not going to dive too deep into it because already pre-existing curriculum like on EMS, Economical Management Sciences, in high schools, and business studies, they already cover this, right? So we're not going to dive deep into it. So it's just going to, give the introduction to it. And then we're going to actually connect it to technology. So the role of technology in entrepreneurship and business, and how you can use technology to leverage that. And then obviously finding opportunities in something like a digital marketplace. And, that would connect with marketing and how do you get, your entrepreneurial ideas to the right people? How do you use digital skills to reach the right minds? And that's sort of the goal of the entrepreneurship in the digital age subtopic. Then we have ethical and social implications of technology. Now, ethical and social implications of technology is something that's often overlooked. And I think the reason why we're actually covering this is because we're reaching an age where, the way we perceive tech is all different. People have different perspectives, different beliefs. But at the end of the day, it should all be a choice. People should have the ability to opt in and out of features, how much data you want to give others, how much data you don't want to give others. At the end of the day, it should be your choice about how involved you'd want to be in this digital revolution that we're going through. So what we'd be covering is the impacts of technology on society and individuals, ethical considerations in the use of technology, and responsible citizenship in the digital world. So how do you make decisions that are responsible in a world that's increasingly more digital? And this actually bridges in very nicely with the next steps of the curriculum, which would be virtual reality, augmented reality, and how do you use tech like this in an ethically responsible way? For example, it cannot be ethical to use an AI chatbot to sort of figure out how to create a bomb, for example. But some people may argue that it's internet and access to information should be available to everyone. So that's something we'd be diving deep into, that there isn't always like a right and wrong answer, and sometimes there are gray areas in which you have to look deeply into. Then the extremely fun part, introduction to artificial intelligence. Now this excites me. As you guys can see, I'm smiling a lot because AI is going to play a crucial role. In fact, it's already playing a crucial role in many of the tech that already powers many of our things. Our cameras, our assistants at home, our Alexas, our Google Assistants. AI already powers a lot of the things, but now you're reaching an age where they're going to be integrated in many of our workflows, and they actually have the ability to wipe out a lot of jobs too. So how do you use artificial intelligence in a way that aids your workforce, supplements it, and obviously when you're doing something that not a lot of others are, it gives you a competitive advantage. So the basics of artificial intelligence and machine learning. Very, very cool topic, interesting topic. We're not going to dive super deep into it because it's obviously a very, very complex topic. But once we have the basics of like what artificial intelligence is and what machine learning is, it will give learners a nice bridge so that if they want to learn more about it, they can dive deep into it. Then applications of AI in different fields. So to use AI, you don't necessarily need to know how AI works to its depth. You don't need to know how to code algorithms that use AI. But if you know how you can use AI in different fields, obviously that puts you at a great advantage. Current tech use cases. So this is where, you'd be looking into text to image generators, chatbots, implementations of AI in the medical sector, and just a whole range of fields that will cover each of these different use cases of artificial intelligence, which is extremely useful. The potential benefits and risks of AI. So obviously with everything there's pros and cons, and we'll make sure that we also cover the cons too, because there are risks to AI. You cannot always believe what the AI is saying just because it's saying something with confidence. In many cases, ChatGPT, for example, has been known to give the wrong answer in an extremely confident manner, almost making you believe that what it's saying is true. So how do you use it knowing that what it might say to you, it might be incorrect? So obviously you're gonna have to check resources, and then this topic would obviously lead back into how do you verify sources, how do you make sure that the information that you receive is as true as it can be. So that's introduction to artificial intelligence. Then we have introduction to blockchain technology. This, ladies and gentlemen, is my favorite topic because I'm extremely passionate about blockchain technology. And I think this weaves in very beautifully into, your digital identity and how your real life identity can sort of morph into your digital identity, and how your digital identity is going to be playing a more significant role, in the years to come. So in terms of blockchain, we're looking into basics of technology, blockchain technology and how it works, applications of blockchain in different industries, and the potential benefits and risks of blockchain. Now, the truth is that the curriculum is targeted, from the grade age range, from like grade 9 to grade 12 and beyond, right? So I'm not going to go in, as Project Future and sort of ask them to buy Bitcoin, right? Because I cannot be doing that. I cannot be giving them financial advice. But the goal of, this topic is to introduce them to the use cases that blockchain technology in general offers. So obviously we refer to, Bitcoin, Ethereum, we refer to the cryptocurrencies, but we also refer to how, Ethereum is powering, Web 3.0, how Polkadot is creating a sort of like a substrate of different blockchains that actually connects things together, creating a more interoperable blockchain experience for everyone. We look into how digital identity, like your vouchers, like your Starbucks reward systems, your McDonald's vouchers, your marriage certificate can all be stored on a blockchain in such a way that you can verify it. It's always stored on the blockchain. You never lose it anywhere. So there's lots of potential advantages that aren't just related to using blockchain as an investment, right? So that's what we'll be diving deep into, so that learners understand that it's not just about buying a cryptocurrency, selling a cryptocurrency, making profit. It's not just that. You can use blockchain without actually knowing you're using blockchain. And yeah, this subtopic will actually bridge nicely into explaining that. Then we have introduction to Web3. Again, connects to introduction to blockchain technology. And this is where we speak about what's Web3 technology and how it works, application of Web3 in different industries. So again, using your digital identity in different cases, whether it's your NFT wallet or whether you're going to the bank. Well, obviously, one of the topics could be about decentralized finance, about how at its core, blockchain technology has the ability to replace the entire banking system, making everything more decentralized, not giving power to a specific corporation authorization, and having everything as open as it can be. So different applications of Web3, and then potential benefits and risks of Web3. So that's that. Obviously, I do agree though that the introduction to blockchain technology and introduction to Web3 are quite interwoven. So most probably what will happen is that those topics will be connected, and then Web3 will actually be a subtopic that connects to it. Then we have introduction to virtual reality. I think I'm very, very bullish on virtual reality as a basis of technology as we work to building an open metaverse. And in terms of that, we'll be looking at, its history. So the basics of virtual reality, how it works, what's the point of it, and we're gonna try and make it as simple as it can possibly be. So people who haven't experienced virtual reality can sort of understand why, it has the hype that it really has. Applications of VR in different fields. So, health sector, education, military, the list goes on, and the potential benefits and risks of VR. Again, it's important that we cover the good and the bad of everything, because truth is, there is a good and bad of everything. Then we have the fourth industrial revolution and South Africa's role in it. So this is sort of like an all-encompassing topic that covers and sort of integrates all of the topics that are already discussed before. And it's crucial that we have this topic so that people know how the tech connects on the back end, right? Because we have introduction to artificial intelligence, we have introduction to VR, AR, you have introduction to blockchain. Now, how do all of these connect together, right in the middle? How does Web3 connect right in the middle? What does it mean for everyone who's going to be using this technology? It could be presenting learners with scenarios where you put on your VR headset, suddenly you're connected to your digital identity. Your digital avatar is connected to your digital collectible, in your collectible wallet, and how blockchains are connecting everything together, how there's no authorization controlling everything. So it's about explaining to the learners how everything will connect, and again, the second point being how crucial of a role South Africa will play in that very fourth industrial revolution. So that would be, integration of everything, how things around us will change and how we can better prepare for it. Opportunities and challenges for South Africa in the fourth industrial revolution. Now, obviously, we can introduce people to the curriculum, but the truth is that there are significant barriers of entry that currently exist in the nation, right? For example, one of them could be, a big one is, access to internet. About 36% of the people in South Africa do not have access to the internet. So how do you leverage this technology and actually make sure that, we also get those people onboarded onto the internet firstly, and then, onboard them straight so that we can make sure that they're ready for the fourth industrial revolution in the South African context. And, things that can go wrong, things that can't go wrong, what it means for everyone. So, yeah, that's the current update of the curriculum development of Project Future. The course, from what I think, should run about 4 weeks with, one topic that is covered each week, with a small homework section, which is often just watching a video or, doing an interactive quick lesson that shouldn't take much of time. Because this, again, is a course that is supplemental. It's not gonna be for marks necessarily, but it's more of an introduction thing that will, get learners excited for the future, get them hyped up about what's to come, and, hopefully really, really improve how people perceive what's yet to come. So yeah, exciting times ahead, guys. I'm so happy to share all of this with you. This has been a work in progress for a few months now, and although it still looks like there's a lot of work to be done, it's still work in progress, and the curriculum is constantly evolving, developing, and there have also been lots of updates to the website. We've added the Our Story section, in which I can give you guys regular blog post updates regarding the progress on the curriculum, about what we're doing in the community to make sure that we can play our part in, bridging the digital divide so that, the divide doesn't get worse. So yeah, thank you so much for spending your time watching this video. I really appreciate you guys, supporting and messaging, wanting to be involved. Project Future is open for collaboration. So if you're a student enterprise on campus at the African Leadership Academy, or if you happen to be an enterprise outside of African Leadership Academy who would want to collaborate on something like this, where we can impact as many people as possible, as many communities as possible, please feel free to message. My socials are right there in the description. And thanks, guys. Have a great 2023 ahead. Cheers, guys.